Hi everybody, welcome to the show. Today is episode 27, end of May, beginning of June. So we're going to go over what we finished this month and what our plans are for next month. I'm wearing one of my tops in Northampton by Valley Yarns from Web. Everything I talk about will be linked in the description box. My cat's already knocking crap over, so anyway, we're gonna start with whips because that is fingering Eleanor, that is finished, and that's worsted weight Eleanor. So when we get to what we finished this month, we're going to talk about her and the differences because there are a lot of them. So let's start with whips. Whips number 1 is my V back tee that I have already talked about. I have not touched this month or this week, so I'm not going to talk about it, but it's still a whip. I haven't quite figured out the space here, so I don't have as many places to put stuff as I did before. This is my only... Okay, so I started a new whip. This is black Cascade 220, the 220 that is Peruvian Highland wool. This was a Lola sweater that I took apart because I wanted this as a crop top. I don't have a lot of yarn left, so there's no light in here. I don't have a lot of yarn left, so I don't know how much we're actually going to get out of the usually, I get a significant... I've only got like 1 inch of ribbing so far, that you can't see because it's black. So hopefully we'll get at least 2 more inches. I can have, cropped because it's hot. And the reason I reclaimed, this is my catch and release. I reclaimed that yarn because for stuff that's I'm going to tell you about for June, when we start planning June. So remember, what I reclaimed a Lola sweater, which some people might find gross, but it's my dog, and she sleeps in bed with me, and she is in my lap all the time except for right now. So I don't find that gross to share my life with an animal. Anyway, our other whip is May's Dye Project, which will be done next week for the June Dye Project episode. So we started... I think I've only done 3 repeats. 3 repeats of the lace so far, and the black doesn't seem to be too black to mess with it, to hide. Black tends to hide the lace, especially for me because I'm gonna wear it over something black. So we've got 3 so far, and I think I measured out the math that we're probably going to get... I have estimated 10 repeats, but I think we got 13 last time, so I gotta go. I'm totally not sure, and I don't know what my ending's gonna be because this gets two garter ridges before the bind off, so we can put it into points. I also did something different that I haven't talked to you guys about. At the end here, and in the middle where you are adding stitches, there's something that I do if I'm going to have enough room to do it. Okay, so this lace repeat is really neat because you can really play around with it quite a bit. So it starts with 18, okay, and it's 3 SSKs, 6 knits with a yarn over, and then 3 knit two together. So it's 362. Well, it's actually 666 because those 2 3s come from 6 stitches. So if you do 666, it's also easy to do 4 4 4 and 2 2 2. So as you're adding stitches, like when I come to so I need 2 2 2. So I need 6 stitches to start it if I want to do 1 SSK, yarn over, knit 1 twice, and then a knit 2 together. So that's 2 stitches, 2 stitches, and 2 stitches. So especially this one, because you're increasing on another row, so you're increasing 2 stitches in between. So the first time you're going here, you're going to increase a stitch. And then the second right side row is just a knit row, so you're going to increase another stitch. So you're increasing 2 stitches by the time you come back to your next lace row. So you can recenter. Make sure you recenter. I didn't recenter because I forgot. I didn't recenter my second one. So so if you do that, then it kind of grows with the pattern, which you'll see as as we get there. Lawn guys are here. Perfect. Anyway, you'll be able to see that as that comes in. And I'm going to pause and we'll come back when they're done. Okay, so I'm probably going to go into this more when we reveal May's Dye Project and how that all worked out. But I wanted to just tell you real quick what we're doing. Now, because I was able to estimate that we're going to have 10 repeats for this sweater. This shawl. So 10 repeats gives us two extra stitches each repeat. Okay. So our first pass, we increase at the front, which is its own because we've sectioned everything off. There's 1 repeat in the front part. Then we have our repeats that go across, and then our center section gives us 1. Okay. And then the others, so it's the same on the other side. So past the center stitch, we have another another increase. Then we have all our repeats, and then at the last we have another increase. So there's 2 sections mirrored between the center stitch. Okay. So I'm just going to talk about 1/2. So we're going to have an extra stitch here and an extra stitch at the beginning. And we get 2 of those each repeat. So if I have 10 of those, if we have 10 repeats, we're probably going to have more. Depending, we might have more. Because 10 is a lot to go through to estimate your yarn weight. So we'll see what happens when we get closer. So that's going to be, if there's at least 10 repeats and 2 stitches each time, that means we're going to have 20 stitches in each spot. Okay, 10 repeats, 2 stitches. So each spot gets 2 stitches each repeat. So 10 times 2 is 20. That means with our 18 stitch repeat, that's 2 extra repeats that we're going to end up with. And if not, we're going to have 20 stitches of plain in between these repeats. So what I like to do is kind of start it when I can plan that, is to start it with the 6th row, which is 2, 2, 2, like I just said, 2 stitches, 2 stitches, 2 stitches, and grow it out gradually from 2, 2, 2, 4, 4, 4 to 6, 6, 6. And then we've got another point, basically. So you don't have long sections in your work. So we'll have 2 of those, 2 on each end, or 2 in the middle, and then 2 on each end. So because we had so many repeats, I was like, let's go ahead and grow this, because even if we don't grow it all the way, we're still going to get some, like a little mini one, so we can still keep the points. But I'm going to go over that, probably bring out the whiteboard and go over more of that with you when we unveil her next episode. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Again, more tricks to make your work nicer, more professional, that you probably didn't even think about. Or maybe the designer didn't think about. So anyway, yeah. Ruth won't be out yet anyway, so you can't do that anyway. But if you're thinking of doing that with something else and you want my help, message me, email me, and I'll see if I can help you grow those, because it looks so much better. Then plus you don't just have plain stitches till you hit 18, then all of a sudden you got it. I like that it's kind of, especially if you're growing from a part that is increasing slowly, and you can slowly grow it. I think it's like a flower blooming. I think it's really pretty. Anyway, where are we? Because the landscapers got me all messed up. Okay, so we're out of whips. Okay, so end of May, guys, we did 5 shawls. So for May, we did 5 shawls. We did Carrie, which was also released this month. Have you done your Carrie yet? I haven't been tagged in anything, so you better do your Carries. So pretty. Carrie. We did April's die project that was done late, Without Shame. That is my favorite one so far. So gorge. We also did Linda. Remember Linda? No guesses as to who I named Linda after. I don't know why this one smells like grandma soap, but I'm here for it. Oh, we also did Malala, but I already frogged her and hanked her back up on my nitty knotty, and then I soaked her to straighten her back out. But it still counts. We still did it. Did we do it? Oh, and fingering weight Eleanor. So that's our 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we did 5. I always feel like I'm never getting anything done, and then at the end of the month it's like, you did 5 shawls, and I'm like, how did I do 5 shawls? Because I feel like I've been doing to May's dye project. I feel like all I've been doing is not doing May's dye project this month. But that's okay. She'll be done in June, and she'll count for June. We got a lot of, like, 3 full-size fingering shawls and 1 worsted, 1 ZK. I mean, that's kind of a big deal. Okay, so we're going to talk about this one. Eleanor, in fingering weight, Can you even see her? I got some specs for ya. Also, our bind off was 1.47, which left us with 10, I'm not kidding you, 10 grams. And then look at this. You see this? See that right there? I can't even tell you what we're actually left with because Tormund ate a bunch of it. It was hanging off from here. It was on this, hanging off. And the 10 grams. And it was like halfway down. Like, this is gross. It was halfway down his throat. And I was like, I need to measure that, you idiot. So, not sure how much he ate because he eats yarn all the time, which is why I have to be super careful all the time. Put that in there. So I'm really upset because, I mean, we were left with 10 grand. Like the last row, after the last row, we had 1.57, and then I did the bind off, which I already know was 1.47 because I had to do it twice. So there's about 10 we were about 10 grams, which makes me super happy. Did I even weave in the, oh wait, I wove in the other end, but I didn't cut it because it went in there. So for Eleanor, what we did is we just worked back and forth 2 rows, right? We got to go 2 rows because we have to start our bind off at the point. We're actually starting the bind off on what I guess is considered the wrong side, but it's garter, so it does not matter. I figure the wrong side is whatever side that you want to weave your ends in. That will be the wrong side. So you don't even have to make that decision until you're weaving in your ends. But we want to start the bind off right here. So we want to bind off towards the arm. There's a bug. Okay, so you start your bind off at the point and work. Here's the bind off. Work towards the arm, because no one's going to care if it's in here. But if you started at the arm and work down, that means this is where you're going to have to weave in your ends and you're going to mess up your point. So do yourself a favor and start it. I don't care what the pattern says. If you are doing one of these asymmetricals where this is the whole focal point of your sweater, this is where everyone is going to look, right? They're going to look right here. They're not looking at these arms. They're not looking at these because these are probably going to be hidden underneath anyway. So that point is your focal point. Don't mess it up. Be very careful when you're doing that very first stitch. Be careful when you're blocking, because that is your focal point. That's what you want to make sure doesn't get messed up. Mine kind of got a little messed up, it looks like. Oh no, you know what happened? See, I folded it so it creased. Okay, so anyway, we went back and forth, and I started keeping track at 14.97. So at 14.97 grams, I started weighing every two rows, because I start at the point. I start where I'm going to do my bind off, because this is where I want to end. So every time I come to the point, I take a measurement, and then I work back and forth, come to the point, take a measurement. So that way I can estimate. So this was what I estimated, and this is what I got. So 157, I estimated 177. So we were, and then my bind off on the 375s was 147. But then we had this left. Where was it? Right in front of it. We had 5, what is this? It's backwards for me, so I don't know what it says. 285? 282. 282 maybe? 282 minus 157, which is what I have right here, gave me 127. And I could tell my repeats were 125. So I was like, oh, I could totally, or 157, right? I could totally get another repeat in there. Oh, see, I did it right here. 282 minus 125, which is what my rows were coming out consistently. 125 was the highest. That gave me 157. So I knew at 157, if my bind off was 147, I could do that with 10 grams to spare. So if you're brave, you can do that and not lose yarn chicken. I mean, seriously, 10 grams. 10 grams, where did I put it? Boom. That is probably, no, I think Ruth herself, the OG, Eleanor, I'm sorry, the OG Eleanor is even less than that. I think I weighed her because I was like that. Boom. So that's how I did that. Now I want to talk to you about dimensions, because I also have with me the shawl that started it all, which is the 6-row garter repeat from Lisa Hand's All About That Brioche that I love. This is her garter 6-row repeat. That is the staple, the basis of the All About That Brioche, which I did not bring one, but it's a bunch of garter, and then there's a bunch of brioche, and then there's a bunch of garter again. So she has a 6-row garter repeat that I love, and I would make them into these shawls. And I wanted to share them all with you because I could make this out of one skein. So what I did instead was I started looking up other ways, because this is her pattern and I don't want to steal it. And it's a little bit asymmetrical. I like symmetrical very much. So I went on a quest to make them more symmetrical. And Eleanor is the result of that quest. So I wanted something biased, still symmetrical. So it's not really at all like hers at all, because it's an actual triangle. So what I wanted to share with you are the dimensions of all three, okay? Including the one that is not my pattern. But you can see it's different. There's more movement, and it's not a triangle, it's a shallower. But some cool stuff happened, because Eleanor grew and grew and grew. And she is seriously gigantic. She is the biggest of all of them. Maybe of Linda. I don't have Linda's specs because I was just doing Eleanor. Now remember, these are going to be the smallest ones. Oh, I wanted to also show you, be careful, because I did this in a really light or big gauge, so it would be flowy and airy. And I did run into, watch me now, I can't find it. Okay, I did run into a problem where I wove in my ends. Oh my god, now I can't find it. Because there were two parts where I wove in my ends. I might have blocked her a little too aggressively, and now I can't. I wanted to show you where the ends were. Because I had actually made a shawl out of another catch and release. I had made a shawl out of this that I did not like at all. The pink was just too, you couldn't see anything, and I didn't like it. So I took it out. I mean, the shawl was fine, but it was one of those where the the, what in the world? Where the shawl and the yarn did not match. Okay, hang on, I'm looking for it. It's right here. Okay. No. Okay, here. Do you see here? Now, when you turn around, can you see it? It's right here. See? You can see the, you can see that. Now, the other one's right here. So, I guess they're not that bad if I keep losing them. There's one. See it right there? Let's see if we can pull the other one up here so you can see that one. It's right here. Okay, keep going, keep going, keep going. Well, I guess they're not so bad, but this one, I might have done it a little tight, so I'm going to mess around with it a little bit. But when it is on, you cannot see it. So be aware if you are making these to sell, like at your wherever, if you're making these to sell, be aware if you get a skein that is not, this is why I like working one skein projects, because then you only have two ends to weave in. So this shouldn't happen. And since this was reclaimed yarn, I didn't care. And I'll still wear it because you're not going to see it anyway. But I did want you to be aware that if your gauge is too loose, that will probably show through. And I'm sure I can fix that with, tensioning better. But she is pretty big. So let's go over the size differences. Put all this up too. Guys, she came out so much bigger than I'm like, Eleanor is going to be small. I thought she was going to be like this sized. So our worsted, can't push you over anymore. Okay, our worsted Eleanor, 46 wingspan, 46. 6-row repeat, 54-inch wingspan. And this 60-inch wingspan. I had her up both sides of the mat, like went right up. So again, still smallest. Our point, 16, 23. So this is almost as big as Hillary. It might be longer than Hillary, but I'm pretty sure Hillary was 1 inch longer. So I had been trying to do a replacement of this, which was a little too small. I thought it was a little too small. It was a, nice mini shawlette, and I feel like I got a full-size shawl here now. I am so happy. I'm so happy about this turn of events. What a fortuitous turn of events. So the worsted is still the smallest with the 46, but it's still wearable. And like I said, you could probably go up to another size, because I did 5.5s, and really maybe could probably go up to, you could probably go up to a 6 millimeter. I'm so excited by this. I can't even tell you. Like I was, when I got her, like when I finished her, she looked like this size and I'm like, oh man, like there's no way we're gonna get big enough. And then she's totally big enough. So happy. Anyway, we talked about this. Okay. So, do we want to talk about what we're doing for June? So we have all this. I have scheduled 7 projects for June, guys. So, let me get out my planner, because I might be insane. Okay. So first on the list, dye projects. Shorts. Remember, we're doing shorts. Shorts. Not short shorts. Well, are they short? I don't think they're short shorts. I also decided to add these 2 in. If you watched last week, these are the Wool of the Andes that were 50-gram balls. This is Garnet Heather, and it is a orange, red, and I hate orange. Hate orange. So I wasn't sure what I was going to do with these, and then I decided, okay, this came about, I should probably tell you this next week. I'm going to tell you this next week. This came about because, actually I have more to show you next week. Some knitters and maybe dyers, I'm not sure how many of the people that were arguing with me were actual dyers, or dyers that dyed a lot of black yarn, which is probably my specialty. So I wanted to show that you can make up a knit item and dye it black, because I'd done it already. And I also wanted to show you that you can take stuff that has been commercially or indie dyed. I mean, this is redyed. This was redyed. That you can take something that's already dyed and re-dye it, even if it's already made up. So this is going to be one of my crop tops, and this is going to be a Lola sweater. And this is why I undid Lola's black Cascade sweater, because I really wanted that in a crop top, but it was only black I had, so I made her sweater in it, and I was really mad because Cascade is probably my favorite to make tops out of. The Cascade 220 Peruvian Highland wool, that's probably my favorite. Now this is still Peruvian Highland wool, so we'll see how this, but it's already not as soft. Hopefully it softens with washing like most things do. So Lola sweater, crop top. That way I'll have 2 black crop tops to make it through the summer. And one will be Cascade and one will be this. And I can see how I like them. So that's 3 projects already, and those are all for dye project. Then we have this is the Reclaim Malala. This is going to be a DK Eleanor. This is Supernatural Yarns Brute Squad on Nymph Sport. This is going to be Sportweight Eleanor. I've just really put some thought into the color choices so they're cohesive, right? So here's shorts, top, sweater, 3, 4, 5. What else do we have, guys? Didn't even count this. another crop, which is probably going to be done today. And the V-back tee that we still haven't finished. So that's, what I say, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 projects for June. I feel like the Home Alone guy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What am I missing? Oh, you know what I didn't write down in here? I didn't write down May's dye projects. So, 8 projects. How am I going to get 8 projects done? I have no idea. We're going to have to schedule. I don't even talk about scheduling, do I? The whole purpose of this was to schedule and stash bust to help you do the same. Now I feel like there are people standing behind me. I'm gonna have to remember to link everything I showed you. So we have you scheduled your time yet? Have you looked into, now we have some tricks. We have scheduling your weekends. Schedule your nights, schedule your days. Any part of your day that you can work, schedule that. Any part of your evening that you want to, schedule that. And then I do, and also nighttime when I knit in bed. And then weekends, you can do the same with your weekends if you want to split your weekends up like that, depending on how many whips you have to do. What really helped me with this nightmare, a Stockinette Nightmare, was 1 hour a day. And I know you can go down to 30 minutes a day. You can do however many minutes a day you want. But me sitting down and saying, I'm going to work on this for 1 hour a day. And when I get up, well, it was in the morning, I would get up and TNT rerun Supernatural during the day, 10 o'clock to like 2 or 3, 1, 2 or 3, depending what else they've got going. So for one of those episodes, I worked solely on this and did not get up, did not eat, did not drink, did not do anything, made sure I didn't have to feed anybody. I worked on this for a solid hour. However, now that I'm at the point where I have to start weighing, this is going to be my night project after my husband's off work, when I'm in the other room before I go to bed. So like 5 to 9-ish. So this will get 4 hours of work, not uninterrupted though. So it might still be like I only get an hour work done. 10 repeats. I've already done 3. So if I do 3 today, 4 tomorrow, it'll be done. It'll be done for a dye project. Don't worry about it. This is my nighttime, my crop top. That'll be done for sure tonight. Well, this is actually, I'm doing this during the day, so this will be done today. Actually, I should probably do the V-back tee then today. I should probably get on that during the day and then do this tonight, and it'll be done. So I'm trying to not start any of the dye projects yet. Since we have a weekend, I might do Eleanor and DK over the weekend. Because Wednesday, next Wednesday, our June dye project, I'd like to get into a little bit more of what that all is going to entail, because there is some prep work that you have to do before you dye something that's already made, and I want to talk about that a little bit, and what I plan to do. And then for July's dye project, we'll see what actually worked out, because who knows what's going to happen when you're actually in the dye pot. Sometimes things aren't going your way. So, yes, Eleanor, the Eleanors can be weekends. The VBAC tea, well, that's going to be night. And the other crop top and the Lola sweater that are going to be dyed take me literally, if I sit down, probably 12 hours. I know Lola sweaters takes me 12 hours. So I'm assuming a top I could finish in 12 hours because it's the same yardage. They're both 50 grams. So we'll see what happens. I also did buy crochet.com, which is the other is part of Knit Picks, had a sale, and you had free shipping at $35. So I went and bought the other two colors, the Jurassic and the Nightshade Heather, because I really didn't want to top in those colors. So I bought one more of those, and then I got 2 grays and I think a blue heather, maybe. I don't remember what I got, but I got 3 more sets. Solstice Heather. They get me with the name. Solstice Heather, which I'm hoping is kind of like this tealy blue, which doesn't look tealy blue. Solstice Heather. The heathers get me. So, and then I got 2 different grays. One was a light gray, one was a dark gray. I basically just filled up my cart till I had $35. No, then, because then I got the disc, like a 15% discount or something. And then, so once I had 35, then I checked out. I got free shipping. Hasn't shipped yet, so see if we'll be sitting here for 2 weeks like we normally do for Knit Picks. But I got 3 this time of the other 3 colors, and they were only $3.49 for 50 grams. So my math was off because, like I said, they didn't give me a thing that told me how much I paid, which is irritating when I got to talk about it, and I didn't think to look it up beforehand. So these are $3.49. So that's what, like $7, right? $7 for 100 grams. Which I think is cheaper than my I think my Northampton's is $9.99 or $6.99 or $7.99. My Cascade is usually $9.99 to $11.99, but I don't care because it's a Cascade. So this might be the cheapest option. I'll have to see what my Northampton Valley yarns, but still, this is still softer than Wool of the Andes is the scratchiest of them. I'm not even going to say rustic because I don't mean rustic, I mean scratchy. It's the scratchiest. Not that I find it particularly scratchy. It's next to skin perfectly fine for me, but if I'm comparing those 3, the Cascade 2012 and Peruvian wool and the Northampton Valley yarns in, I don't even know if that's just wool or Peruvian wool. I'm not sure. I know it's not superwash. I'm pretty sure it's not superwash wool because it doesn't grow. I would say this is but I haven't wet it yet. I haven't made it up. I haven't worn it. So as soon as that happens, we'll be discussing the differences. Okay. So yeah, I might do some feedback tea today. I'm going to go through and see what I want to work at and schedule my time out. And I can't stress enough that is what keeps me from... You ever just like sit down and you're like, I don't want to work on anything I'm working on. I don't want to work on any of my whips. I don't want to do anything. You have those days. It's so much easier if you have a schedule to not get into that pitfall of, I don't feel like doing anything today. So I can, and plus it gives you more variety of, you might not want to work on something that day, you know what I mean? But then you go, like, if you're like, oh, what am I working on? And you see it and you're like, ugh. And you're like, I want to work on this. Then you can work on that. Like, you don't have to work on what's scheduled. But if you have something scheduled, it's easier for me to just do it. To just go, oh, yes. Because it's probably something I haven't worked on in a while because I schedule so I'm not working on the same things except for Monday through Friday. But that's usually to get crap done. So if scheduling works for you, I know deadlines work for people. Scheduling works for me. Deadlines freak me out. I hate deadlines. Really don't like them because all of mine are self-imposed and are arbitrary. So I'm like, well, deadline doesn't mean anything. I don't like deadlines. So, okay. What else do we have? Eleanor. Sport and DK back tee and a crop top. Oh, guys. Michelle is ready. So go to the website morningdewstudio.com and get your free copy of Michelle. And I'll make sure that I was going to write her today because it's supposed to rain today and tomorrow, and that was my goal, was to write out Michelle. So she'll be ready. I don't even know if anyone's done Carrie. When was the last time we released Carrie? Tag me on Instagram if you're making any of it. I'd love to see it. Just at me. Because I want to see them. I love to get ats. I love to get mentions in Instagram. I love to see what you're doing. So if you're working on anything, if you want to test knit any of our second series, I could put out a call for test knitters, but because I do it a different way and you need a scale, I'm kind of not really wanting to do that. I don't know if I should do I think I'm going to have to plan like a little class how to use a scale so I can reach more people and do that, like I said, do that separately from the podcasting. So I'm probably going to work on that. Because otherwise, what am I designing for? And what am I pushing back opening my dye store for all this designing if I can't reach people with how to work my designs? I just think it's easier. You don't have to count your stitch counts. Maybe you might have to count them one time. I hate counting stitches. Anyway, Michelle's release. Go get a copy. And I will say, if you like the Raina, you will probably like Michelle, because Michelle is like Raina but stockinette, and she's bigger because she's stockinette. She's bigger. Also, I'd love to see what your dimensions are with your yardage and what needles you use. And that stuff is interesting to me. I find it interesting, different yardages, and like I was thinking I could work up the DK on the 5/5s, and because it's like what, 10 yards more, I could probably get that just a tad bigger. I'm not sure if I want to change needle sizes for the DK because that was a 5/5. So what would I go to, a 5? There's no way I'm doing a 4/5. I think that's going to be too small. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I might have to do it a couple times. Who knows? Anyway, I don't have any shows to talk about because Debris is over and I still haven't heard if they're bringing it back. Which probably means no. Do you think that means no? Like, the longer we wait, do you think that's more of a chance that they're going to say no? There is a severe lack of alien shows on TV. And that's a problem for me. Because I like aliens. And you gave me a cute little baby alien earlier. And now I got nobody. No aliens. I hate when my latte goes cold because then it kind of tastes lemony. And I don't know why. Okay, that's all I got. If I was supposed to mention anything else, I am sorry, but it did not get written down. So, talk about it next time, I guess. Thank everybody for watching. Thank you for commenting. I comment back. If you're a YouTuber, if you're a podcaster, I comment back. I go and watch your stuff and I comment back. If you want to comment on me. If you need comments, I do nice comments too. I do mean comments, and I actually watch your stuff, so you'll get an extra view. And then I click the like button too. And I'm probably already subscribed, but if I'm not, I will subscribe to you. Thank you, everybody that watches me. I appreciate you. I'm so glad that you spend your time with me, and I really hope I'm helping you. I realize I'm probably only reaching shawl makers. People like to do shawls. But I'm hoping I'm teaching you things that, these are little tips and tricks I've picked up along a very long time I've been doing this, to give your work an extra pop and to give it that handcrafted, more professional look, that you may not know about. So next time, do June die project next week. I'll get the whiteboard out and I'll talk to you about those lace repeats and how to grow them out. That'll be fun. And that'll also set me up for, I gotta do all those standalone ones too then, I think. I should probably schedule those. Maybe after this rain, because we're getting a bunch of rain. Anyway. Thanks for hanging out. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you next week. Bye.